Hey, what's going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And it's Fred Lenartz, the subprime hero.
And we are brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast.
Yeah, we are.
And we are so excited about the guest that is coming here to percolate the passions of the car industry right now. We are so excited for this incredible solutionary that's coming in the cafe.
He really is. Man, he's at an undisclosed location.
Yes,
we'll let him announce where he's at here in a moment, but he's out there having fun. Like he is building team. Yeah, he is building up the team, looking like we're on a vacation ourselves. Look at us. But he's not on just vacation. He's out there with his team. He's out there trying to make things grow. He's trying to have fun. He's trying to show that he has a culture of love and passion and togetherness of team and family, man. And that's some big stuff. He leads everything with love, like a solutionary, which is why he is somebody that I absolutely love. We've had some fun. He's absolutely hilarious. I've got to see him speak. Man, this guy has a resume that just stacks deep, right? But what I can tell you is this, what he's doing now is the biggest thing he's ever done. It's getting bigger every single month. And I'm excited to talk about that kind of stuff, how he got to where he's at today. Because, man, my man, the one.
Whoa. We got to get them involved. We got to get them involved. You got to get involved. If you're alive, if you're out there watching this right now, you need to tag a car guy.
Yeah.
You need to tag a car gal.
Yeah, you do.
And you need to share this around because this is a brew.
This is the one.
Putting the smellers out for.
Right.
I'm telling you, you
want them coming. It's hump day. Let's get over this hump and let's find ways to get better. And we got the one,
the only, Mr. Tim Cox. Welcome to the show, brother. Yeah, there he is.
I'm gonna play that intro for my wife every time I walk into the house. That was the best intro I think I've ever received. So I want my own. Some people have their own theme music. I want that intro just to be the prelude to me walking into the house every day. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah,
well, we can record it for you, and you just
No, I've got it. I'm sure it's recorded. I'm gonna cut and dice it for sure.
Hey, this content is free to share for you. This is your content also.
Everybody
man.
share
always
it
out there. So share this,
like
people.
This, folks,
let people know. I've been sharing this whole time. I want people to get in here. Let's have some fun. Let's have some questions. But here's the thing, man. Before we get anywhere, before we start, we always lead with the 3 F-bombs, right? Everyone knows our 3 F-bombs. You've been watching the show. I know Tim knows the 3 F-bombs. He's seen us even talk about it right in person, right? We've had him get involved with it. And I love Tim for it. Tim is somebody that will always jump in when it's the right thing, when he knows it's something that is going to the next level where it's almost spiritual. And I love how he speaks. He's very spiritual when he speaks, man. Folks, if you've ever seen him on stage, I'm telling you, he brings fire, and he brings fire with everything he does. So let's get these. Fire's another F-bomb, right? But these 3 F-bombs are important. Lou, tell him about the 3 F-bombs.
Cooking it up. Okay, car guys, car gals. For those of you that are constantly facing challenges, you are often hit with an opportunity to forgive anything that's happening. Forgive yourself, forgive the people around you, forgive whatever it is that could leach itself to your shoulder. You got to be intentional about wiping it off. So we make sure to forgive, right? We wipe off the weight of unforgiveness. With those free hands, we go ahead and we zero in and focus to where it is that we want to go.
That's right.
What we're designed for, who we're designed for, and what we're going after. And then we stretch out inside of faith and we begin to fly. And then once we're flying, we just keep growing and keep growing. And as we do that, we find ourselves growing in our business, growing in our communities, growing in our families, growing in our spiritual walks, growing in our finances, growing and growing and growing. And Tim personifies what it means to be a solutionary that I already knows how to forgive, focus, and fly. But now we get to do it live on the show, and we're so thankful for it. But you get to do it too. So everybody out there riding around, driving around, go ahead and put your hands on your shoulders. One hand if you're on the wheel, and get ready to forgive, focus, and fly on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Forgive, focus, fly, and keep growing.
Keep growing. Now,
that's right,
we are ready to brew.
Let's do this, man. So, Mr. Tim Cox, tell everybody where you're at right now. Tell everybody what you do, all the good stuff.
So we are right now. It took me about 15 minutes to get the light right because we are at the beach in Cancun with our president's trip. Last couple years, we were not able, based on the situation, to do a President's Club. So very special this year to be able to give back, love on our people, and let them let off some steam a little bit here in a brand new 5-star resort. We're so excited. I think it's only been open 3 weeks. Wow. And they're just having an amazing time together as the top 10% of our company that have sacrificed, and their significant others. I think, people sometimes forget when building a business, the significant others. I know personally there's zero chance that we would have had the success if I did not have a supporting and loving wife, lifting my arms up as Aaron did Moses, saying you can do it, encouraging. And I think it's important that we pour into the significant others. So have some time, we're not leaving till Friday, to spend with them, getting to know them, encourage them, thanking them for their sacrifices, and allowing them to have an amazing time here in Cancun.
That is amazing.
That is incredible. And that gets the beans to spill, right, of where it is that he is. We didn't want to tell everybody, but we wanted you to feel as at home as possible, because we know that car guys and car gals don't get that many breaks, but you taking one, we definitely don't want to interrupt that. But you got to get a good coffee while you're inside of a vacation, right? You got to get some coffee.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so coffee. I got to get some coffee.
Get the good coffee. You got to get the good stuff. So let's see here. Let's start brewing some serious solutions here and start figuring out for those that need to find gateways into the industry. Mr. Tim, what brought you to automotive? What brought you to the automotive industry?
I mean, it was a freak thing, and everybody has a story. But I was 17 years old, and I answered an ad in the paper, just graduated high school, didn't know what I was going to do. Believe it or not, answered an ad in the paper, and it said carpet cleaners wanted $300 a month or $300 a week. So I was like, well, that works. This is 1989. And I started selling Kirby vacuum cleaners door to door, and I crushed it. Of
course you did.
And then, I did that for like 6 months. And my boss was like, you got to get a van. I'm like, bro, I'm 17. Or actually, at the time I had turned 18. I'm 18 years old. I'm not going to get a minivan. And they were building Jake Sweeney Hyundai in Florence, Kentucky, which is not far from you guys.
That's right.
Construction wasn't even done yet. And I just stopped in and I said, look, I've got a little bit of sales background. I think I could do this. They said, you do what? They said, I said, I sell vacuum cleaners door to door. They said, if you can sell vacuum cleaners and not in cold call and sell $1,000 vacuum cleaner, surely you can sell a Hyundai. And the rest is history. From there, I did take a short break. I got a wild hair to where I followed my best friend at the time, Michael, into the recruiting office because we were late for a party, and because he was joining the Marine Corps. And so took a little break and went to Parris Island, joined the Marine Corps. Ended up getting hurt after a little while, and I went back to that same dealership, Jake Sweeney Hyundai, and I've been in the car business ever since, and never looked back.
Well, thankful for that happening, man.
Thank you so much.
And I love it that he's a Kentucky boy, just like us, and it's big. We don't sound like it so much. Neither does Tim, but we are from the state. We're proud. There's some great car people who come out of the state that are currently in the state, and mad representation, right? So we appreciate you telling that story, man. And, being able to get into this business after selling Kirby's, because you built some confidence as a young man really quick. Like, you're walking into people's homes and you're convincing them to finance something or pay cash or whatever. But most of the time it's financing it, and they're buying these on monthly payments for a vacuum cleaner, and you have to convince them to spend that kind of money when they can go to Walmart and buy something for a couple $100.
Mm-hmm.
What's the value in that? But that taught you features, benefits. It taught you how to, really ask for the deal then, because you have to ask for the close at the end. Mm-hmm. But when you show those features and benefits, and I remember I did a slight training on vacuums also, but it was a competitor of that. It was called the Filter Queen. And when I was selling it, it was really neat. The training they gave us, like, it was very intense and it was good. It was quality training. And it was like to each thing, and the way they would show how this would work and how you can convince them to get them involved, and huge. And when you can translate that into automotive, man, that's actually sometimes better skills were taught there than in automotive in today's market, even in today's world. And that's kind of sad to say, but your skills were needed. It was a blessing that you got in this business. I think whatever business you became part of and you really put yourself like ingrained into would have been amazing. You would have done extremely well. That's just who you are. So that's where it gets to, what motivates you to be that way? What is your why? What motivates you to become that type of person in anything you do?
I thought about this for a long time, and I think in any business where and look, let me first off by saying, we've won a bunch of awards, and they say we are, whether we are or not, they say we are but one of the fastest growing companies in automotive history. But I think, my thought process, even from CarNow, when we first started, changed from the first even year to really understanding, and this works inside the dealership. If you're selling ice cream, it doesn't matter. When you worry about and focus on inspiring your people to then inspire others, things change. They just do. Doesn't mean you're going to lay down. Doesn't mean, oh, everything's going to be okay. You haven't hit your numbers in the last 6 months. Let me pat you on the head. Right. It is creating a culture environment to where people, yes, want to hit their numbers, but when they miss them, and even the best miss them occasionally, they become upset for letting you down because they're part of that passion. I'm hearing some of these stories. I'm the emotional one, and I don't care. I'm passionate about life. Every day I want to review the game film and get better than I was the day before. But just, sitting by the pool with some of our team that I had no idea. Roxanne Dursa, who has been phenomenal, tells me the story, which I didn't know. Hey, listen, I saw you on YouTube. And I was like, man, I would love to work for that guy. He could, and I had no idea. And she's been with us 5 years, and now one of the leaders in our OEM team. So look, and understanding that it's not about me, it's about we, and that everything could be taken away very quickly if we lose that, if we start patting ourselves on the back. In our industry today, think about the salesperson that's been selling cars for 18 months, 2 years. This isn't the real car business. People don't, you know what I mean? So those types of things. So long story short, it inspires me to inspire others to do what inspires them. And inspiring them, we talk about serving. And when we serve our team, are we perfect? Yes. Is there drama sometimes? Of course. Please, I don't want to paint this picture of utopia, but it's close. But when we paint the picture to where, they know that I'm going to answer the call, and so do our dealers. And that's the big key.
Amen.
They know
Reach it.
If they call on a Saturday at 10 p.m., I'm answering the phone.
Let's go.
They know, unfortunately, as we get to that age, that because it's happening a lot within our CarNow family, that parents are sick and parents are passing away and kids are sick and kids are in the hospital. And I get that phone call. I take that phone call, right? So creating an environment where we serve our team, and therefore understanding that they serve our deal and allowing them to serve our dealerships, then that is what creates a culture of servanthood. And, as we continue to strive to get better.
This is exactly what we expected brewing with you. This is exactly the heartbeat of what we are knowing is the incredible car guy that is Mr. Tim Cox, the person that is truly brewing solutions, truly turning up the heat and pulling the very best out of the people around them. And sometimes it's a grind, and sometimes there's a lot of effort. Sometimes there's a lot of digging. Sometimes there's a lot of peeling of the layers in order to get to that fine thing that's there to brew. Right. We don't brew the entire bush that is the coffee. Right. We reduce it down to what is the valuable part. And that's what we try to do in our lives. And you building up people is what ultimately is having this meteoric explosion of power, like a rocket ship of energy that's exploding your company too, because you were genuinely burning the fire of the hearts of your people only with your passion and with your joy, your commitment to the cause, your commitment to the client, right? They can only see what they see an example. They can only do what they're seeing an example of, right? We're all of us humans are learners with our hands, right? We learn if we see it put in front of us, we then can do that. They see a fire in you that they're emulating, and it is making an explosion happen on all levels of your company. And then fire, there's refining, right? There's a refining. We're going to get some of the bad stuff out, and that's painful for some of us sometimes. The whole purpose of a hot seat is for us to brew out the things that we need correction on.
No doubt.
And that's great.
No doubt.
But they have you, and I lead that because it takes incredible people like you, but you have great people to look to also that can cut on you, that can brew the best out of you, turn up the heat 100%. On you, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
We're gonna throw this over to
Fred. There's no doubt. And what I love that, and I appreciate you for alley-ooping that for me, right? So bam, right? So the next question is pretty obvious. We're gonna ask you about your mentors, but I want to speak really quick about what we just talked about there, because man, what you just said is powerful. But I also want people to understand that, when you put and you help and you develop the people around you, it lifts you up. Yes. You become better. You're more accountable for yourself, way more self-accountable because you have to be. When you start pouring in, you can't just talk the talk. You got to walk the walk and then go with them on the walk. There's a difference, right? And that's what you do. And that's what you're doing right now. You're there in Cancun and you're walking with them. That's powerful to me. And I just want people to understand that. And that's something that we have inside all of us. If we just take that extra little bit of effort, that little bit extra time, you will be way more fulfilled. I promise you. So I love that. Kudos to you. I appreciate you for saying that. And I know that really comes from here. And that's what's so deep about it.
It's a solution,
man. So that being said, mentors. You are a mentor, but you've been a mentoree and still are. We all are. We look up, there's somewhere, whether we have God, the Bible, or whether we have somebody that's a business partner of ours, that's just somebody that's incredible. I look to Lou in a lot of mentorship, ways, and for so many things. I look to so many people, my wife even, right? So who to you in your life has been a great mentor, or maybe mentors to you?
Well, believe it or not, my partner, Andy Park, he is, we've become best friends. He walked into my dealership way back in 2013. He was a serial entrepreneur, really, really intelligent guy. And we are yin and yang. He's everything that I am not. And I'm the guy that there's a problem. I'm going to get my M16A2. I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm going to run directly through the wall. He's going to analyze the wall. He's going to analyze the wall and look for the weak spot, and he's going to think through that. So he's been a big mentor in my life. I've had a lot of spiritual mentors that I won't mention because a lot of them are pretty famous that I had the privilege to walk alongside. But unfortunately, three of them fell. Let's just say they fell from grace, and that taught me a lot. But I would argue two very quickly here. I look at guys like Chip Perry, who now is a competitor. But we have a lot of people on our CarNow team that came from, as they call it, the Chip Perry era of Auto Trader, where he created a very similar environment. And then I look at John Maxwell, to where I get a lot of my stuff from. A lot of our success is because of his 21, the book 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I would argue the two of them that has made us most successful is in any business, and I think, in my opinion, the most important, the law of attraction.
Amen.
And then the law of duplication. And what I'm finding out and hearing stories like Roxanne's and so many others, I mean, we've got dealer principals that have owned 3 and 4 dealerships that are now on staff and part of the CarNow family because they want to be a part of what we're doing. So it's the law of attraction. Had one person call me during the interview, and this is almost 6 years ago when we were just getting started, and she's our VP of sales for the western part of the United States. She said, "Listen, I've heard some stories about what you're doing and about you. I don't even care about the salary." This is the only time this has happened, by the way. "I don't even care about the salary. I just want to be a part of it." Okay. And she started out and she grew up. So it's the law of attraction. Hey, something's going on there. Something's going on at that Car Guy Coffee freaking podcast, man. I'm going to be a part of that. Those guys are, every time they go to Digital Dealer, every time they go, they're having fun. There's the law and it attracts.
Amen.
And then it's the law of I don't care. I don't have an HR department yet. It's discipleship. It's go therefore and make disciples of men, right?
Let's go.
It's in the business. It's something's going on there. Something's different here. Now let's go duplicate it and continue to create other fires. And those people, again, inspiring, because I'm gonna leave you with this as I'm getting fired up. And
dude, I'm getting goosebumps right now. I'm not even playing. Bring it.
And this is the key to the kingdom. And I want everybody listen really close. Get close. In this business, and look, I've got nice watches. I've got a nice house. I have an automobile problem. Nothing wrong with those things as long as you're not stealing, okay? There's nothing wrong with those things as long as you're giving to charities and giving back. I'm not saying that. But we live in a world where automotive guys and gals are making more than they ever have. And we show all this stuff and we chase success. But the key, in my humble opinion, is when you chase significance in others. Significance, being significant at those crucial times in your team, being significant when that person needed you, being significant. And if you wake up daily chasing significance and pouring into people, success is going to come. The stuff is going to come. It doesn't have to. This isn't a get rich quick. This is a, you know, what are people? I tell people all the time, what is it like to be on the other side of you? I ask myself that daily. My wife holds me in check all the time. You know, hey, have you been on the other side of you lately, big boy? You know what I mean? So these are all things that we have, and it's a lot. It's like a golf swing. Okay, I got to do this. I got to do this. But man, when you just boil all the water out of the pot, boil all the water out of the pot, and you chase significance. And you heard me say this the other day. I'm pouring out a lot at the same time, but I believe this because I do it every day. Back to John Maxwell, 3 words that changed my life. I had the privilege to meet Dick Peterson, who was John Maxwell's partner when John was still a pastor in San Diego 40 years ago. And Dick said that, listen, John is all over the place and he's ADD, and I have to tell him, hey, you're supposed to be here and you're supposed to be here. And he wasn't comparing me to John. He was just saying John has ADD like you. But I went to a conference that John Maxwell had, and he said, look, I'm all over the place. And he basically reassured that thought that Dick Peterson told me personally in my office. And he said, listen, but my life changed when I understood that there was nothing I could do about yesterday. It's gone. Yeah. I can review the game film. I can get better. I can see where I missed that. I should have done this. I should have loved on that person. I'm not promised tomorrow, but you know what I have? I have just for today. I got today. In my day, especially when the accolades come, especially when the awards come, especially when the auto industry and other industries say how pretty you are and how great you are, to humble yourself and just for today, I'm going, and this is a game changer, because we love reading our own press clippings. Just for today, I am going to treat people as though they're more important than me.
Yes.
And when we do that, and then we chase significance in people's lives, when we stop and listen to people rather than just waiting for them to shut up so we can tell them how smart we are, you want to find significance. Amen. And then therefore turn that into success. Listen, I don't apologize for it. My favorite verse, one of them, is to him who is able to do immeasurably more. I'm from Kentucky, but immeasurably more in my book, you can't measure it.
Come on.
Can't measure it.
Come on.
To him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we could hope or ask for. That's why a hillbilly from Kentucky is sitting here in Cancun right now that barely graduated Connor High School.
Come on.
Immeasurably more. Woo! Immeasurably more. And that is what is wanted for your life right now, listening on the other end of this screen, whatever screen you're listening to, is there is immeasurably more out there for you if you stop thinking so much of you. When we give back and start pouring into others, man. And do I screw up? Yes. Daily. Ask my wife. She just went down to the beach. She couldn't even be here, right? She's like, I'm not going to be sitting in there. I was like, do you want to sit next to me? No, I don't. You know what I mean? I mean, she keeps me humble. But man, I'm telling you, my plea to everyone is that's the key.
Come on.
That's the key. When we start doing life that way, you know, things change, man. Things change. Immeasurable things happen, and then they keep happening.
Man, he keeps dropping some nuggets, doesn't he, man? Oh, those words are powerful.
I don't even want to. I mean, I want to speak, but I don't want to say nothing.
That's just so great. What's the point? It's amazing, and I think that anybody out there who's watching this right now would agree that, you know, Tim is speaking from the heart. And man, you know, when you speak about spiritual life and you talk about that inside you, whether you're a believer or not, you know that there's something there. You know there's energy somewhere, right? Use it. Why are we not? Why are we just sitting there hoping things can happen? Why not make things happen? Go out there and be more. Go out there and just for today, be more. That's all you have to do, just for today. Wake up tomorrow and do it again. Repeat. Next thing you know, you put together a life that's just amazing. And like he said, he's sitting at Cancun with his team, growing all the way from Kentucky to this, my friends. I'm saying, like, anything is possible. We've heard the stories. This 5-liner is amazing, and I'm like lifted right now. I feel like my seat is like levitated, right? So I it's amazing. It's amazing, and I know Lou is just. Whew. Go ahead, Lou. I'll let you go, my friend. I know you're there. You got stuff at the tip.
I mean, there's some stuff that does require, hey, let's pause. This is our show, and we can take our time. We're here to have a cup of coffee and a conversation with a true car guy, with a true person that's passionate about what he does, puts his heart into it. But this is not so much about him as much as it's about anybody that's listening or touching or feeling or getting this. If this is putting something inside of your cup, the responsibility goes on you for you to drink it. Once we make your coffee and we hand it to you, it's up to you to drink it out there. But there's a word that you used, and it just highlights the solutionary that you are and leading in love. And I got to tell you the truth real quick, just a quick commercial break for the glasses. We're wearing the glasses to keep it, you know, all tropical, but man, I think I might do this more often because it's way easier on the eyes with all these lights. But anyway, to understand, I'm sham wowed, and I'm loving it because you're rocking the heart right now. This is real stuff. If you're driving, sip on it, just think on it, rewind if you got to, go back, listen to the things that he just said. But you're a solutionary, and we are convincing the world that solutionaries lead with love. And love is pure. Love doesn't have any of that ugly stuff that gets in our way. Okay. And when you lead with that, you're ultimately highlighting the level of love that somebody has when you say you are significant. And it's not just that you yourself are significant, but what you have and what you bring to the table has significance to it. And I am here to pierce your heart with love, to erupt out the things that are most significant of you for your community, for this business, for your family, right? We are here to inspire that from people, and you're doing that. You're doing it to me right now, to just reminding that significance of what you have has to be released, and you're doing that. And again, you get to go out there today. You're going to go, and I pray that you feel the fruits continuously building that you can't even see anymore, because that is ultimately what you are, is a multiplier of fruit, which was the first thing God said to man to do. He said, before anything, you know what the first word was that God said to man? Anybody know? If you can drop it into the comments, go ahead. If you can text it, go ahead, drop it on. But the first word was be. And if you're a solutionary out there, I challenge you to drop one of the B's that you've been trained on inside of the comments. You know the deal when you get to see this. But for those of you that have been through that, but to be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. And when you're multiplying the things that are coming out from you into your business, and those people are multiplying out into the rest of the world and the kingdom, this message, this love that looks like love. It doesn't look like pretentious religious right? It doesn't look like overly aggressive motivation without merit. No, it's the heart of love towards another, and you've released it into a company in a way that we can all emulate. We can all sip on that. We can all be free enough to do that.
No doubt.
And I love that you help to liberate that just by showing us that. And in that, there's so much that we can also learn from knowing that there's not always these victory moments. We're not always on the beach celebrating with the team. We get some hard lessons. What, Tim, for you has been one of the hardest lessons you've had to endure in this ascent? I mean, you haven't even seen yet. You can't even claim it yet, how great the things are coming, right? But now that you've seen so much, you're believing for even more. And that's the power of faith. Yeah. Right. Once you see it happen, then, oh my gosh, I need to believe
exponential faith, you know, and when you get to that pinnacle, you see another peak, you're like, there's another one over there. I want to go for that one. Why not? But now that you've gotten here, you believe you can do that, and you can.
Yeah. And we, a lot of our, I'm just going to love on everybody. I mean, we've got a lot of competitors, and a lot of them got acquired last year, in the last 2 years. And our phone rang. Andy and we got a lot of emails. We got a lot of phone calls. Didn't have a lot of conversations because we wanted to, as far as the vision of our company, we wanted to build something. It's like Maxwell. I'm going to quote Maxwell again. He said, great companies have leadership that understand three things. Leaders that say, I want to make a difference. I want to make a difference. We want to make a difference in automotive. I'm not going to pitch CarNow, but the average dealer today has 8 logins. We're creating one login, one complete dashboard. We're never going to build a DMS, but pretty much everything else, hopefully, almost everything else, we hope. And a lot of that is coming this year. We wanted to make a difference. Number 2, with people that make a difference. And number 3, doing something that makes a difference. And I think we're making a difference. And the hardest lesson is being able to humble yourself enough to understand that even though the success that you've had to change. So I took the company to X, and then I had to hire Tina as a VP of sales because I couldn't be in so many places. Like right now, I'm on the road every single week for the next 5 weeks. I can only be so many places, right? And then we brought on Nicole to split the country as a VP, and then I just replaced myself, and that's been hard because this is my family as an SVP of sales. We brought in a guy, Eric Kaiser, who we're really happy and excited. 22 years at Reynolds, and he is now the SVP of sales as I go forth and, as we call it, preach the gospel, which translated as good news of CarNow, because we have good news. And so is letting go, building your baby, and understanding that, and it's not me, it's our team building the baby collectively, and then of the business collectively, and then reinventing ourselves and understanding that what got us to here, we've got to, you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet, right? And then you got to redo it, and then you keep on. So that's been pretty tough, but we're moving through that right now. Nobody likes change. Nobody likes, this is the way we've always done it, and we've had so much success, but at one point, I mean, look at the Patriots, look at, any NFL team or any team in general, there has to be, you have to be moving forward and moving backwards. So that's really been the hardest lesson that I'm continuing. And if everybody's smart in anything, that we continue to learn. We have to, again, learn things from the game film that we're watching, and then get better tomorrow.
Right. Hey, that's right. I love that. That is right on the money. That is a great lesson to learn. I love that. But what you created was diverse mindsets. You had all these different people come in that were, don't get me wrong, on the same mission, same frequency. That's why they worked. You looked for people, you found the right people, you put them in the right place, right? And that's what we want to do. It is hard to let go of the reins, especially because people like us, we work really hard, and we know that we can do a great job doing what we're doing, right? And can someone else do it? Yeah, they can. They're just going to do it differently, and we're going to have to allow them to do so. But what's beautiful and what happens is that now we have 3-4 different mindsets looking at the same problems, and we find a solution that could be unique, something faster, something quicker that we all just collaborated on, and now the client's getting the best of what they can possibly have, right? They get all these different minds working on one thing on the same frequency, just causing this disruption that makes it go boom. Here, look at this. This is what we got. So
I got to give you something that my partner Andy said. That's my most favorite thing that he's ever said.
awesome.
Again, we start reviewing our own game film. We start, there's people. There's two, as it says in a book they wrote a long time ago. It's the little foxes that destroy the vine. It's these two words destroy any company, any dealership. It's number one, insecurity, and number two, pride. Any company. And when insecurity and when pride creep in, we go into that conference room as we're the smartest person in the room. We go into that boardroom, that meeting room, that sales meeting, no matter what is said, we've already before we even started the meeting, nobody's going to change my mind. I'm the smartest guy in the room. I've been doing it this way 15 years. I'm at a 10. That is the death of any company, any dealership. But Andy said, and I quote him all the time, and I give him credit for it. He said, listen, I don't have to be right. And he's a lot smarter than me, a lot smarter than I ever be. He said, I don't have to be right, but one of us has to be right. So having that mindset, I can have my opinion and I could go into a meeting thinking I'm right, but being humble enough to understand, oh, wow, that could work. And not always, but again, we look at our check stubs from the last 2 years in any auto dealership in the country, and we start thinking, but then you realize, hey, hello, McFly, the whole country's crushing it right now. The whole country's crushing it right now. So not trying to be derogatory, but slothfulness is created in times like bad habits are created in times like these. So the time to fix the roof is when the sun's out, which is now as it's creeping through the curtains in Cancun. Now's the time to fix the roof, not when it's raining. And the rain's going to come. I'm not being pessimistic. It's not going to be this. Let's be honest, everybody. It's not going to be this way forever.
You're just realistic. That's realistic. Yeah. So
prepare accordingly. Absolutely. Ooh. I don't have to be right, but one of us has to be right.
And I don't have to be right, but one of us has to be right. And that is the facts. But that is why a team is so strong. Like one can raise 1,000, two can raise 10,000, right? So multiplication, God math. It's powerful, but that's what we become, and that's what we create. And that is something that when you learn it, man, is that a great lesson to learn and be able to keep multiplying with that and teaching that to other people. So I hope you all were taking notes on that. That is a great lesson. And that leads to my last question. Woo! Man, this has been like, I literally have had goosebumps so many times on this one right here. This has been a great show. And Tim, I want to thank you for taking your time.
It's a cool shirt. That's why.
Dude, it's a really cool shirt. But I really appreciate you taking time out of the day to come do the show with us. Honored, man. We're a huge fan of yours. Wow. And, we look forward to seeing you very soon. Right. So, but that being said, this last question is a very good question because we work really hard. We have all these things. And I have a gut feeling what your answer is going to be because I could just sense your heart. What has been the greatest reward for all the hard work you've put together so far in your life?
Our people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Those conversations that I've had this week and I've had for years now. Just their thankfulness to what we collectively created. Is it perfect? No. Is there room to grow? Absolutely. But those one-on-one conversations that say, I just want, that pull me aside or pull Andy aside or pull whoever aside and say, hey, listen, I just want to let you know that this company changed my life. I just want to let you know that my dad was sick and you were there. I just want to let you know that, I was going through a divorce and I reached out to you at 11 o'clock at night and you were there, those things, because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, it's not going to matter how many cars I have. It's not going to matter how many houses I have, but that duplication pouring into others to allow them to see things differently. I'll leave you with this final thought. Mm-hmm. It's been said a couple times, a zillion times. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% what happens in you. But I take it a step further. People need to understand what can happen through you.
Come on.
90% of life is what happens in you, 10% to you. But most importantly, think for a measure. If we think about what does immeasurably more look like in your life? And just for a moment, if you could be the best daddy, the best husband, the best mother, the best daughter, the best employee you possibly could be, because I have this fear of getting to my final destination, right? And having, I'm not going to get uber spiritual here, but I can't hide it. I'm sorry. And have, you know what? If you would have just done this behind, it's almost like our life. I look at our lives like make a deal, right? And behind door number 1, behind door number 2, behind door number 3. But listen, if I would have just done this is what I had in store for your life, but you just didn't listen. You were too worried about being the smartest person in the room. You were too worried about doing this or buying this car or doing that, instead of understanding of what I can do, not to you, but what I can do through you. And if we have a country, you tell me what, I don't care what side of the political fence, if we all started living like that, you talk about changing the world, man. That's what would change the world.
Come on. Amen.
What could happen through you? That's my final thought, and that's my question for today.
Oh my goodness. Car guys, car gals, I challenge you, if you're hearing this on the podcast, if you're watching this live, if you're watching this on the replay, whether the 5th, 6th, 7th, however many replays would ever be out there, respond to that. Throw a comment in there. Let Tim know what this provokes inside of your thought, because this is really penetrating the heart, which is what we do on this show. On Car Guy Coffee, we are going to penetrate the heart. We are going to get that thing. It's not just the organ, right? It's the being, that inner being of who you are. What gets you ignited? And if that doesn't get you ignited, folks, your wood is wet. As my brother Brad would say, you have wet wood. If that doesn't fire you up, you got wet wood. And you need to get a way that fire can flow through you. And you need to answer that question into the comments or send a message to him and tell him how incredible he has blessed you with this 5-liner. Wow, I am rocking.
Dude, I'm spiritual. I can't. The rest of this day is going to be a great day. I already know it. I'm filled with love, energy. I can't wait to go out and pour into others. Just keep giving, my friends. And here's the thing. You don't have to do it forever. Don't have to work. Don't worry about how long it takes for you to do this. Just for today. Just for today.
That's
if
it.
you just do it just for today, it's that much easier. It's just one step at a time. That's it, my friends. Go after it. Get through it. Let's go. Tim, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks, guys.
Man, this was a great one, my friends. I'm Frelin Arts, the subprime hero.
And I am Lou Ramirez, the Car Guy.
Wow, and we are Car Guy.
Been brewing solutions.
That's right.
On the Car Guy
Coffee
Podcast.
That's right.
With the one, the only Tim Cox. So excited that you joined us today. Make sure that you share this around with your friends, share this around with your colleagues, and continue brewing solutions. Let's forgive, focus, fly, and keep growing as we head out of here today. Tim, join us on 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Forgive, focus,
fly, and keep growing. Woo! Man, what a great show. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. I feel great.
And I know that Mr. Tim Cox is 100% CGC approved. That's right, everybody. Check him out. Check him out. Check him out.
Right. Listen, if you guys want to get in touch with him, reach out to us. We'll get you guys in line with Tim. We'll make sure that you guys have a conversation, whether it's just about life or about CarNow. I promise you it will uplift your business. Let's go. Let's grow. See you guys next time.
Everybody. Ha!